Indianapolis and Louisville, two cities often compared, but only one truly stands out as the better place to live. From unbeatable entertainment to a lifestyle that just works better, I'm going to show you why Indianapolis isn't just another city, it's the only city you should choose. I'm Brian Quinlan, I'm a realtor in the Indianapolis area. Thanks for checking out my channel. Hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment what you think is better, Indianapolis or Louisville. Let's get into it. Indianapolis, Indiana and Louisville, Kentucky are only separated by about 2 hours of driving. Just go straight down or straight up I-65 and you're there pretty quickly. Louisville is just across the border from Indiana, separated by the Ohio River. So for some people, you actually live in Indiana and you work in Kentucky, or vice versa. It's very common to have people that have to commute across the bridge to get over the Ohio River and spend their day working in Kentucky. Indianapolis is a bit of a larger city. We have a population in Indy of almost 900,000 people. Louisville, however, only 630,000 people, so definitely a smaller place. Like most big cities, both Indianapolis and Louisville struggle with crime. Nationally, both cities are actually rated very high for crime. And that's not a good thing when I say high. Unfortunately, Indianapolis ranks worse on violent crime rates than Louisville does, though both of them are over the national average. When it comes to property crime, however, Louisville actually is ranked worse than Indianapolis, but again, both of them are higher than the national average. National average is about 35 violent crime per 100,000 residents. Indianapolis sitting at about 67 on that scale, unfortunately. Louisville, however, is at 87 per 100,000 residents. So as you can see, both of them have issues with crime and need to do something to figure that out. With a city in the hundreds of thousands of people for population, you might expect that commuting around the cities could be a challenge. Actually, Indianapolis, even though it is a larger city than Louisville, is considered to be a better commuter city than Louisville is. Indianapolis, your average commute time is about 24 minutes. You have I-465, that is the circle around the Circle City, that can get you to basically any side of the city in about 20 or 25 minutes, depending on traffic, of course. What Indianapolis doesn't have is any type of a citywide mass transit system. Yes, we do have a bus system, but there's no train or light rail or anything like that that gets people around. Down in Louisville, while they have a lower population, their commute time is a bit higher. One of the issues that Louisville has is the bridges that go over the Ohio River to and from Louisville, in and out of Indiana and getting around Kentucky, but they also have a toll, which tends to slow people down. Now, in the experiences that I've had driving to and from Louisville, there isn't a toll booth that you have to hit. It's all done electronically or by your license plate, but still it does tend to slow people down. And I personally have found that the signage on the highway going in and out of Louisville on I-65 can be a bit confusing. Indianapolis, and the state of Indiana in general, is known as the crossroads of America. We have multiple highways that cross through the center of our state and through Indianapolis that can get you to and from many large cities in just a few hours. In other words, we're known as quite the transportation hub. We have lots of trucking that passes through. We have trains that go by on somewhat of a regular basis getting to and from other national cities. Indianapolis is also known as a fantastic convention city. The Indianapolis Convention Center hosts many large conventions throughout the year, bringing in Gen Con on a yearly basis, which is the largest tabletop gaming convention in the entire nation. We are known for hosting many sporting events, and people who come here for conventions or sporting events, they just like the ease and ability to get around the city, and during the cold weather months to stay warm, as we have several tunnels that go over the top of the roadways, hotels and convention center and business buildings that are all connected through a tunnel system that keeps you out of the weather. Louisville, known for its bourbon. It's actually known as the gateway to bourbon country. So a lot of their activities and their theming revolves around bourbon or Churchill Downs, where the Kentucky Derby is located. So horse racing is a very big thing down in Louisville. That takes us into sports. Now, Louisville doesn't have any major professional sports teams. They are known for the University of Louisville, so they do have a vibrant college scene that's right nearby, and Louisville or University of Louisville athletics is a popular thing for people to do down in that area. They do also have some minor league sports, but professional sports teams, are at least the big ones, are not well known down in the Louisville area. Here in Indianapolis, we have professional sports teams with the Colts and the Pacers and the Indiana Fever. We also have, of course, the Indianapolis 500. By comparison, Louisville does have the Kentucky Derby every May, which is a very big deal for at least an entire week, if not longer. That brings the eyes of the nation upon it. But the Indianapolis 500 is still the largest one-day sporting event that is attended nationwide. If you're looking for nightlife because you want to live somewhere that has a vibrant nightlife scene, while neither of them are really known nationally for their nightlife, Indianapolis, by comparison, is probably the better of the two simply because they're more varied. Down in the Louisville area, like I said, it's bourbon country. So you're going to see lots of bourbon distilleries around, and of course you can go and tour those. There's also a location in the Louisville area called New Lou, which is the more eclectic kind of nightlife area or zone of Louisville. You have your bars, your restaurants, your vibrant nightlife with clubs to go to. It's a fun thing. I've been down to the New Lou area and it certainly is fun. But to get from place to place, you're pretty much walking outside, and so it is a bit weather dependent, unfortunately. Indianapolis has several locations that offer a vibrant nightlife. You've got the Broad Ripple area, which is lots of bars and clubs that you can go and hear live music, see shows, things like that. Then downtown you have Mass Ave, which is this long strip of bars and restaurants and rooftop bars. There are some clubs for dancing. There are some breweries down there. And it is a very popular area to go check out, especially, even though it's been several years since it's been there, we're going to call it the newly built area down on the east side or northeast side of Mass Ave, with the Coca-Cola Bottling Company, which includes the Garage Food Hall, along with Pins Mechanical, which has duck pin bowling and other gaming, as well as a couple of bars. It's a really cool, fun place to hang out. Now, much like Louisville, it's a bit weather dependent because you do have to walk outside to get from place to place, but it is definitely hopping on the weekends. And as I said earlier, we're a major location for sporting events. And when we're hosting sporting events, Mass Ave is packed. Continuing on the entertainment side of things, Indianapolis, of course, like I said, we have the Indianapolis 500 and other major sporting events that come to town on a regular basis, along with our professional sports teams. You have Gen Con, which is the largest tabletop gaming convention in the entire country, as well as other large conventions that come through the convention center. We have major concerts that come to Indianapolis, whether it be at Lucas Oil Stadium, at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, or out at Ruoff Music Center in the warm weather months, or the Everwise Amphitheater, which is right downtown, also in the warm weather months. We get some major concerts here. For family-friendlier activities, you're looking at the Children's Museum, which is regularly voted as one of the top children's museums in the entire country. In Louisville, you've got your bourbon activities. Okay, you can walk up and down the street and hit all the bourbon distilleries. Right near many of those is the Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory. I've gone there and done the tour. It's a cool place if you like to learn about how baseball bats are made. There's also the Muhammad Ali Museum, featuring artifacts from Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, who is from the Louisville area. And I have actually attended down in Louisville an event called Bourbon and Beyond, which is out at their fairgrounds area, not far from Churchill Downs, where they have several days of music acts that come in, and of course, bourbon samples and tasting and learning about bourbon making. It's a really cool event, I'll be honest. When it comes down to it, there's not a huge difference between Indianapolis living and Louisville living. Maybe it's a matter of you want to choose between Indiana and Kentucky. Maybe you want a smaller city and Louisville is the place to be. But Indianapolis, while larger than Louisville, is not a massively large city. If you're looking for a place to settle down that has an eclectic nightlife, professional sports to follow and attend, a food and beverage scene that isn't just barbecue and bourbon, then Indianapolis is going to be the place for you. If Indianapolis sounds like the place for you and you want to consider relocating here, my contact information is down in the show notes, so click that and we can talk. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.